Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be doing another episode of World on Flames Collector's Edition, Days of Decision 3 combined game playthrough. This will be the September-October 1941 turn. Last turn we saw a number of interesting developments. There was a fleet action in the Atlantic, there was a London Blitz that happened. That really didn't amount to a whole lot of anything. There was sub action in the Faroes Gap. The American fleet came out to play, escort convoys, and they actually ended up losing a carrier because of it. Most of the major powers at this point are in the negative as far as money goes. The Russians are really in a bad way right now. They don't have much of anything of a line south of Saratov region, Tula. I think we got Tula over here somewhere. Yeah, right there, Tula. They don't have much of a line south of Tula. They're kind of praying for some really bad weather, because really bad weather will really put the slowdown on the German advance. Most of the Ukraine has been occupied by the Germans now. China has just been basically a stalemate, nothing good. The Japanese have been hard pressed to make any progress at all. Well, we'll see what happens. We don't know what the weather's going to be like. September, October can be finicky. It could be really bad weather, it could be really good weather, so pretty much anything can go on. Alright, let's get started. We're going to start out with the political phase, as usual. Let's go over and take a look at what we have for starting money. Which is going to be pretty much nothing. Alright. Starting money. We have... I think I need a new pen because it's getting kind of light. We have, for September, October 1941, we have Germany at -12, Japan at -9, Italy at -4, the USSR at -8, the Commonwealth at -9, the US at -6, China at -1, and the Free French at -6. This upcoming year, 1942, I do believe that every single major power can gear up. So we have a lot of gear ups coming. Some of the major powers are probably going to anticipate that, so I would assume there's going to be a curtail in spending. But you never know. Some of these major powers just like to spend right to the limit. Okay, all right. So we have a total of 6 major powers bidding. We have Italy bidding 1, the US bidding 1, the Commonwealth bidding 1, Germany bidding 1, the USSR bidding 1, and the Free French are bidding 1. Now, let's go take a look at how that's going to play out with the initiative positions. I can scroll that back out. There we go. Let's get the political effectiveness track. This might come into play this turn. So, we have Italy, bid 1, they get a +3, that's 4. The USA, bid 1, they get a +3, that's 4. They're tied. We break the tie by looking at the political effectiveness. The USA is a 3, the Italians are a 3, they have the same political effectiveness, so the current order breaks that tie. So the Italians will be first, the Americans will be second. Then we have the Commonwealth bidding 3, and the Commonwealth bidding 1, +2 is 3, and the Germans bidding 1, +2 is 3. So they are tied at 3 each. Their political effectiveness is the same. They're both a 7. So that tie, again, is broken by their current order. So the Commonwealth will be 3rd, the Germans will be 4th. Then we have the Soviet Union bidding 1, +1 is 2. and the Free French bidding 1 plus 1 is 2. They are tied. Go over here to the political effectiveness. The Soviets are 5. The Free French-ish are 3. So that's broken by the political effectiveness. The Soviets will be 5th. The Free French will be 6th. And the powers not bidding are Japan with a +4 and China with 0. So Japan will be 7th. First all the way down to 7. Wow, that's a big drop. So the first last card marker is on the Italians, and the last card marker is on the Free French. Let's go see what Italy wants to do. Go over here to my political table of the Indian Ocean. Seems like a good place to do things. The Italians are going to do minor alliance. Not a big shock. Seem to be going after Bulgaria, more or less. And that's who they're going to sign the alliance with. Costs 5 money. I'm going to record the US entry. And at the same time, I'm going to put the minor country influence out, and I'll be right back with activating a minor. Before I proceed with activating a minor, I want to go over US entry a little bit. Now, I've been keeping track of all the actions that the major powers have been undertaking, and you often hear me say US entry this, US entry that. I basically keep a running total of what each major power's US entry is. You see it's like German, Italian, Japanese, Commonwealth, French, Russian, Chinese, US, Vichy French, and Free French. Now those totals are plugged into these formulas up here, and that's how you come up with a US entry. So when I do that, the US entry for Germany is currently at 65. Now the US can declare war on Germany if it gets to 80, and it's at 65, so it's getting up there. The US entry for Italy, it's currently at 22, and the US entry for Japan is currently at 30. Now, the US can declare war on Japan if the US entry hits 100, unless the fleet is at Pearl. Then they can declare war on Japan when it hits 80. So I just want to make a little note about that so everybody understands when I'm talking about US entry. It's actually what I mean. These are the numbers and how they affect things. There are political options that the US can play. I think last turn they played one, which was armed merchantmen, and a couple other ones. Their US entry option number 10, I believe it was, gave them 3 of the US entry options from the World in Flames rulebook, in which they're using right now. Like they can repair Commonwealth ships, which they did actually repair 4 of their ships last turn and pay for it. So that actually is helping the Commonwealth quite a bit. The U.S. can send surface ships out and aircraft carriers out into the various North Atlantic and Central Atlantic sea zones to help escort convoys, and that actually came into play last turn too. There was some convoy escorts going on that ended up getting American convoy escorts and ended up getting sunk. Well, hey, you know, you're in a war zone, that's the way it goes. Alright, so enough rambling. These turns are getting long as it is. Let's go activate a minor. I think we know who the Italians are going to activate. They're going to activate Bulgaria because we have 3. So let's go over to the status display. This will be kind of quick. There's Bulgaria right there. And Italy's here. It costs 2 for the hex, 1 to cross a boundary. There's a boundary between Bulgaria and Italy. However, it's -1 to move towards the major power within their ideology. And since we have 3 Italian, that's going to do it anyway. So that's going to stack Bulgaria with Italy. I'm sure that the Italians are more than happy about that. They might have another minor they can activate soon. We do not need to roll to see if we end the political phase, because there are 4 to 6 major powers at war right now. And that gives a +1 to the die, and I can't roll a 1 on the die. So let's take a look at who's up next. That would be the United States. Let's go see what they want to do. Head back over to the Indian Ocean. Pretty good place to do this stuff because it's one of the only places on the whole board that's clear. The U.S. is going to do a treaty. There's the treaty. Well, I don't quite see it. There it is right there. Okay, treaty right there. They're going to offer a treaty to Free France. This will actually help the Free French out. If we get to that point and it actually gets to them, we don't do anything now. We don't record any of the U.S. entry. We don't put out any of the minors until the Free French get to accept the treaty. We do, however, get to roll to see if the political phase ends. So there's been one previously played political option. That's a -1 to the die. However, there's most of the world's at war, so that's going to be a +1. So it's going to be basically come down to a 1, and the political phase will end. Holy cow, that's close. That's a 2. Alright, so we will move on. The U.S. is done. We'll be back in a second. Okay, we're up to the Commonwealth. And the Commonwealth is going to offer a level 1 treaty with the Soviet Union. Okay, we don't do anything until the Soviet Union's political phase. We do, however, roll to see if the political phase ends. 7, not going to do it. That's going to keep going. Alright, so that's it for the Commonwealth. Like I said again, none of this will be put into effect until the Soviet Union can actually accept the treaty. Alright, let's see who's up next. The Germans are up next. We're just blowing through this. And the Germans are going to do their option 0D, build a factory of synth. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? There we go. Okay, we're going to build a synthetic oil plant. Doesn't cost us any money. However, we have to pay the cost of the synthetic oil. There's no U.S. entry. There's no minors. So we'll do that. Okay, took care of that. Now we roll to see if the political phase ends. Gotta grab the right die here. Oh, look at that, a 9. Do you see that? There we go. That's a 9. Roll the 9. We keep on trucking. Keep on trucking. We're down to the Soviet Union. I'm not going to dig the paperwork out because they're all the same. This is they're going to play their OF, I believe it is. Accept the proposal. So they're going to accept the level 1 treaty from the Commonwealth. So I will go and put all the markers out and then come right back with activating a minor. Okay, next the Soviets will activate a minor. And I'll put this back. I think who they were going to activate, they were thinking about activating Turkey first. With the -3, they really want to kind of drive Turkey away from the fascists. But I looked at the political display, and Turkey is here. Now these wrap around. So F here is the same as F over here. And if you count from where the Commonwealth is, 5, 6 to that F, 7, 8, 9. And from here, the Commonwealth, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So technically, it's going to drive the marker this way. It's going to drive the marker over closer towards Germany with a -3. Now, they don't like that idea. They don't want that to happen. The U.S. also has a -3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could activate the US. It would drive it here. And that puts it within 11 of the Commonwealth. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then activating the Commonwealth. Yeah, I think we're going to activate Turkey after all. So let's collect up the markers. Let's come over here. See what's going to happen. We have a -2 Italian. We have a 2 German. We have a -3 Commonwealth. And we have a -3 US. Yeah, that'll be all right. I think so. So we're going to activate the American one first. And that's going to drive it here for 2. Okay, they don't have another point to go here. Now, technically, the US could have pushed it here as well, but it's their option to go this way or this way. It's equal distance. And actually, I think this is further away because they come in at G. Yeah, I don't think it makes much difference. So that's the American activation. Then we're going to activate the German. That's going to push it here, closer to Germany. Then we're going to activate the British. That's a -3. That's going to push it away from the British, 1 hex, because each hex costs 2 at this point. Then we're going to activate the Italian -2. That's going to push it further away. Let me make sure I got that right. Nobody allied to it, so yeah, that's actually right. That actually, the Soviets are just as happy with that. They're okay with that. Alright, let's go see if the political phase is going to end. We have had 1, 2, 3, 4 political options played. So that's going to be a -3 from the die. And this is a Soviet player rolling. Well, a 1 pretty much ends it almost all the time now. So the political phase is over. The Free French are going to get bonus bid points. And the American treaty is just that. Alright. And that is the end of the political phase. I will be back with, I will roll initiative, and I will go over reinforcements in a few seconds. Okay, the initiative roll came out as a 8 for the democracies, a 3 for the fascists, and a 2 for the communists. Now, the communists and the fascists both have pluses. There's a +2 to the fascists, which gives them a 5. There's a +1 to the communists, which gives them a 3. And there's a -1 to the Democrats, which gives them a 7. So the Democrats win. The fascists come in second, and the communists come in last, and that's actually how the initiative order will play out. The weather roll is a 2, which is fair weather everywhere. Not something that the communists wanted to see. Let's go take a look at reinforcements. I got reinforcements this turn. I got all kinds of stuff. Jeez. Reinforcements for this turn, we have a whole pile of Soviet infantry and militia. It's a motorized army headquarters. They need all this stuff. Whole pile of infantry, we'll put them right over there. That will all go on the board. They also bought an anti-aircraft gun Actually, let's do this. That's what they got from coming in for reinforcements. This is the infantry army. And we have a gigantic pile of militia. All built, all ready to be deployed. The Chinese have 2 units. We got an infantry army and Mao, both communists. The Commonwealth has a night fighter, good range on it. They also got Wavell back. He was the unit that was shattered down in North Africa. Let's see. We have to use a pilot. We will. I don't know if I got any more pilot. We have a transport coming in. We have 2 convoy points. We have a transport going into the construction pool. That's the Queens. That's an excellent transport. We have another fighter, 2 more fighters. I don't actually think this guy's gonna, no, the 5 is a 5. He's got a good range. Okay, these guys are gonna go into the construction pool, or the reserve pool rather, the 2 Hurricanes, I believe, a Hurricane 3 and a Spitfire 1. We got the Egyptian Territorial going back on the board. We have a militia, and we have another militia. We have an anti-aircraft gun. They need that. London getting bombed all the time. That definitely will go on the board. And we also have a Indian Infantry Corps going on the board. For the Americans, we have another fighter, P-40C. That can be Lend-Lease. We'll use a pilot, so he can go on the board. We have an F4F4 Wildcat. Either of these can be Lend-Leased. I think this is Chinese. No, that's British. We're going to put that one on the board instead. Okay, and we got, what else do we got? We got a couple of ships going in the construction pool, a transport going in the construction pool, and a CVE going in the construction pool. Oh, and we have another pilot. So we will add a pilot to the track, and we will take the pilot off the track because we will put this plane on the board. Now, I want to quickly note something. Last turn, the U.S. signed a level 3 treaty with the Commonwealth. Well, as long as they're neutral, they can't sign level 3 treaties. So what I did is I converted that to a level 2 treaty with the Soviet Union. It works out to be about roughly the same. I think U.S. entry was a little bit less, but it's fine. Also, the Lend-Lease rules are, it says you can't Lend-Lease units directly, but it also says you can Lend-Lease up to 5 build points a turn. So I'm house ruling it. If the U.S. wants to Lend-Lease a unit to a major power rather than build points, then as long as the build point equivalent isn't over 5, then that's fine too. Okay, let's continue with reinforcements. We got an Italian battleship going in the construction pool, the Lepanto, an Italian carrier going in the construction pool, the Falco, and we have an Italian armored corps and an Italian infantry corps. Italians are getting some troops. A good infantry corps for the Italians and a really good armored corps. For Japan, we have a amphibious unit going in the construction pool. We have a bomber. We will be putting that on the map, I believe. Yeah, it's a Judy. It's a pretty good one. So that will go on the map. We'll take a pilot off. It bands down to 3 pilots. We have the Musashi That's going on the map. We have 1 convoy point and 2 CAGs. I won't put those on the map just yet. We'll put them in the reserve pool. And we have a sub going in the construction pool. Last but not least is the Germans. We got a bunch of militia. We have an SS motorized corps. We have an infantry corps, an artillery unit. We have a pretty good fighter, a BF 109. That will probably go on the map. We got 2 pilots. Let's take care of those first. Credit those on the track. We also have a Swedish, whatever this is, Swedish B-17C. That's not a B-17. I guess that's what they call it. That's going to go on the map. We have a Dornier 217E2. That's going to go on the map. It has a real good strategic factor. And we have a SS Garrison Corps. We have another infantry corps. We have a regular garrison corps. We have 2 regular garrison corps. And last but not least, we have Mr. Mainstein. So I'll get these on the map, and we'll start out with the first impulse. I'll probably be back with the fascist impulse. I don't imagine the Democrats are going to do any attacking anyways, so see in a bit. So for the Democrat impulse, the Americans put a couple ships out. They sent some transports out. Also, the Americans have seized Iceland and Greenland. They can do that with the U.S. tension pool. Well, with the U.S. tension. It's one of those rules that when you combine this game with DoD, you just kind of have to allow them to do things when you think the tension is about right. And I think the tension is about right, so they should be able to do that. Let's see, the Chinese, they didn't do too much. They're kind of okay where they are. Then we went to the fascists. Oh, the British sorted their fleets, sent their fleets out to escort their convoys. They took a naval. So Britain naval, U.S. combined, Communist China was a land, and the Free French was a land as well. I'll probably move him back to here. Actually, he's supposed to be here. He's supposed to be here. Okay. Looks good. Alright. So we went on to the fascist impulse. The Germans, surprisingly, decided to do a naval. And they sent the fleets out again. So we could possibly have a fleet battle. And we got the subs out in the Faroes Gap. The Italians sent their subs out to the Central Atlantic. We got the main Italian fleet sitting in the Eastern Mediterranean, escorting merchant ships, not merchant ships, transports. Okay, so they're going to be both in the 1, 2. They're both going to be here. So that's that. Don't know where those are going to land. I'll probably do that at the end of the turn because you're supposed to debark land units actually now. Supposed to debark land units now, so we're going to debark the Armored Corps in Tobruk and the Infantry Corps in Tel Aviv. Or Haifa. There we go, right there. We also have the Africa Corps down here, and not quite Africa, but the Near East. Rommel is here. Little interesting twist on history. This is a Free French colony, Syria. Alright, so I guess the first thing we're going to do is we're going to search. The Germans will flip a unit. Let's see what happens here. grab some dice. My weather die for the fascists. So let's see. Okay, I figured it out after I roll the dice. Well, a 6 and a 9, that doesn't do anything. Nobody found anybody. Alright, let's go up to the Pharaoh's Gap. A little flip a ship. I don't think it matters which one, because they still participate in combat, even if they're flipped. 0 and a 9. Yep, off to a good roll here. Now we'll head over to the Central Atlantic, see if the Italians can do something. They will flip a ship. I'm probably going to get mauled. 2 and an 8. Nobody finds anybody, because there are no Allied ships in the 2 box. 6, that would have been a 5. It still doesn't matter, because it's convoy subtract. Actually, there's no convoys here, and I rolled so high it doesn't matter. Yeah, nothing matters. So there are no naval combats. That's very, very disappointing for the Axis, or the fascists. Let's head over to Asia. We do have a little bit of action over here. We have some ground strikes. The Japanese, we have 3, 4 ground strikes right here. So we got 3 and a 1 and a pair of 2s. So the top unit for the first set of dice and the bottom unit for the second set of dice. So, alright, let's see, the red is the 3. Okay, big 0. Now we got 2 2s for the same unit. And a big 0. And for the unit underneath, 3 and a 1. He's flipped over. And that just happened to be Chang. Oh, Chang. Oh, Chang. And that's going to be a 3 to 1 attack. We're going to do HQ benefits. That's going to make it 3 to 1 plus 2. Obviously, the Chinese are going to pick the assault table. 3 to 1 plus 2 on the assault table. Let's see what we get. Oh, jeez, the Japanese are choking and choking and choking. 3 to 1 plus 2 is a 5, which is 1 and 1. 1 Japanese unit, 1 Chinese unit. Well, I think the Chinese probably going to lose a calf, because Chang is too valuable to lose. And the Japanese are probably going to lose a militia unit if they have a cheapie in here somewhere, a low strength unit. Probably not. No, I guess we can lose this guy. And all the Japanese units are flipped over. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this is just becoming a giant stalemate for Japan. They're just not able to do anything. They exhaust all their air power, or a lot of their air power, on one big attack, and then can't do anything after that. Okay, he goes there. Goes there, and these two go here, at Wuhan. Alright, so he's dead. He will be a cadre, because he's at the same hex as the headquarters. And the Chinese unit will also be a cadre. It's not costing Japan a lot, but it's not doing them any good. Alright, that's it for the fascists. I got costing them anything, but it's really not doing them any good either. Alright, so that's it for the fascists. I don't think I got any. I have some air rebasing, so I will do that, and I will be back with the communist impulse. Okay, so the Soviets took advantage of the Germans not actually moving, and they managed to get a relatively thin line assembled in front of Moscow. So it's not too bad overall. It's something. And that was the end of the communist impulse. The weather roll was bad for the fascists anyways. It came out as a 7, which is rain, Arctic, rain, north temperate, clear in the Mediterranean, rain in north monsoon, and clear in south and south temperate. So the Germans decided to do a combined and just kind of stand in place because they have a supply problem. Down to 2 European hexes. There's a few units that can move, but I think I'm just going to leave them where they are for now. And like these guys are all out of supply. There's a supply issue right here too, because oh no, he can trace back to a rail hex, so he's okay. So there might be an attack there, so we're going to mark that. Alright, and we're going to have some naval action. So let's take care of the naval action. Again, I have a little fun in the Atlantic. Let's see what we got going on here. The Germans are going to try to do something in the Bay of Biscay again, and in the Faroes Gap, and the Italians are also going to try to do something in the Central Atlantic, and they have one attack in the in Egypt. All right, grab the die. Let's start with the Faroes, the Bay of Biscay. Well, it's not a bad roll overall. I'm going to have to check the chart, so 3 and a 10. Let me get back to you on that in a second. Okay, so we have 4 surprise points, and what we're going to have is a naval air combat. The Germans decided they didn't want to spend their points to make it a surface combat, so we're going to go naval air, see what happens. Alright, first we got fighters. We got a Fulmar against a FI-167. So we have a +1, -1. The Commonwealth is defending, so they rule first on the +1 column. And they get a 11. Oh no, 7 + 5 is 12. Plus an attacker clears through any one bomber. So the attacker clears through a bomber. We're going to send through the Condor. Now the Germans roll for their on the -1 column, and they rolled a 7 on the -1. 7. Defender aborts. Defender aborts own front fighter or front bomber. Well, if I abort the bomber, I'm going to abort the bomber. Kind of have to. Now we continue. The Commonwealth rolls on the +1. They roll another 11. 8 and a 3. +1 and 11 is defender clears through the other bomber. So both German bombers make it through, and the reply from the quote-unquote fighter that the fascists have is a 19 on the -1 column. A 19. AX. Attacker is dead. The pilot is killed. It's a red box. I'll show you that. On the -1 column, Go down to 19. It's an AX. Dacker is toast. So that Fulmar is destroyed. The pilot is killed. What is the year on that? Maybe the British will scrap that. That's 40. No, they can't scrap it. Okay, so we got 2 bombers that got through. Now we got anti-aircraft. Oh boy. Let's see what the British have for anti-aircraft. They have 2, 4, 5, 6. I'll add it up. Okay, so what we got is we got 34 anti-aircraft points. The fascists, the Germans, have 4 surprise points. They're going to shift that column down to the 15 to 20. As 2 bombers, it's the lowest die out of 2. So we rolled a 7 and a 1. 7 and so the lowest die is obviously the 1. And I think each 10 points destroys 2 carrier planes or 1 other bomber. Destroy 1 VP or abort. Each remaining point aborts 1 air to sea factor. So 1 is going to abort 1 air to sea factor. So now we're going to have a total of 4 air to sea factors attacking, it looks like 30 some ships. 4, 8, 10, 13, 16, 21, 26, 27, 28. 28 ships for 4 air to sea factors. 28 ships. Oh, wow. 1 sunk, 1 damaged. Not bad. 1 sunk, 1 damaged. I think we're going to sink the Formidable. The aircraft carrier Formidable. I'm going to roll for that one. See if that one sinks. And it rolls a 3, which means it sinks. Roll under the defense factor. The defense factor or less, your ship sinks. Now the British, the Commonwealth player, he's going to choose the Revenge. I think it's a pretty good battleship. To be damaged? No. We're going to choose the Ramillies, which is not as good of a battleship. To be damaged. The Ramillies getting damaged. Ramillies. That's going to be better than a 4 for not to get damaged. Oh yeah, and he's got an abort. So he's going to abort at the end of the round, which is right now. He goes home. Okay, the Germans want to stick around for another round. The Commonwealth is here to kill some German ships. I really would like to have a surface combat action. Might even get hosed on that, who knows. But the carrier planes go back to where they came from. They do not flip over. He goes back to his box. And then we roll. Roll for the round 2. Oh, 1 and a 3. Looks like we found him. Looks like we found him. So everything from the 1 box and actually everything. Oh, actually, I'm wrong. This is rain. And in rain, there's a +1 to the search roll. So the Commonwealth search roll is a 4, and the Fascist search roll is a 2. We're going to do a surface combat anyways. Let's see. My highest box is a 4, plus his roll is a 7. I got 3 surprise points. 3 surprise points. Don't think that's going to do anything. Don't think that's going to do anything. Alright, let's check this out. Okay, naval action in the Atlantic. Well, Bay of Biscay. So, surface action, we have a total of 80 surface combat points for the Germans with 26 ships, and we have a total of 60 surface combat points for 26 ships for the Commonwealth. The Germans have 3 surprise points. They used it to shift the Commonwealth column down 1, so they're going to do 2 sunks, 2 damages, and 3 aborts. The Germans are going to do 3 sunks, 2 damages, and 3 aborts. So the Commonwealth wants to get rid of German ships. Just get rid of them. So I think we're going to pick the Deutschland. That's a 7 for the Germans. We're going to pick that to be sunk. Gotta roll an 8, 9, or 10 for it to not get sunk. It is sunk. Deutschland is sunk. Okay, now the Germans will pick another one. They're going to pick... They're going to pick the Conrad Gustav 5. And that's also going to be for a sunk. And that's going to 8, 9, or 10 for that. Oh, and he's not sunk. He is damaged. He is a damaged ship now. Alright. Now the Commonwealth can pick a damaged ship. They're going to try to damage... Let's try to damage something like the Shine Horse. Let's try to get rid of the Shine Horse. We're going to try to damage the Shine Horse. That's a 3. He saves, so he's aborted. Okay, and then this is for a damage. We're going to go with the Frederick de Grub for a damage. That's a 1. So anything but a 1. I roll a 10. He's good, so he's aborted. And then we got 3 aborts. We're just going to go the Sidlitz, the Cone, and the Karlsruhe. So it's an 8, an 8, and a 6. So the 8, aborted, the 8, aborted, and the 6, half aborted. So there's 2 more ships aborted. Now, this is half damage. I think they're probably going to abort after this round. So that's going to go up here. Anyways, alright. So now, it's the Germans' turn. They got 3, 2, and 3. Let's try to sink something of value. Let's try to sink the Valiant. We're going to go for the Valiant. That's a 3. We got 3 sunks. And that actually is sunk. He had to roll better than a 3, and he rolled a 3. So he's sunk. The British don't want to lose ships. They're going to try for a sunk on this guy. That's an 8. And he saves. He's damaged. He's damaged. We're going to put him in the damage pool. I already know the Germans are going to abort after this round, so I'm not really worried about the aborts. In fact, I'm not even going to do the aborts that the Commonwealth did, because they're going to abort anyways. Alright, so now we got 2 damages. See that? Oh, yeah. The Commonwealth, the Germans. So now the Commonwealth picks one to be damaged. Alright. Sunk. Sunk. He got damaged. Now I pick another one to be sunk. The German player. He's going to pick the heavy cruiser. Got to get rid of some of these things. Actually, let's pick the Revenge. The Revenge for sinking. That's a 4. And he's okay. He's damaged. Okay? Now we got 2 damages. The Commonwealth player will pick the DoDIII for damage. That's an 8. He's damaged. And the German player is going to pick the Revenge for damage. That's going to 5 now. Oh, and he saves. So he is aborted, but he's aborted to the damage pool. And this guy's going to go to the damage pool. And that's it for that. Not going to do the aborts because they're all going to abort. So I'll be back in a second. Alright, we have a sub-action in the Ferals Gap. Let's see if anything happens there. What happened to my other die? Here it is. Ferals Gap. An 8 and a 4. So that actually, these two actually succeed. No, because that's a 5. So that's this. And so nothing happens. Alright, well, we have an Italian attack. Attack, attack, attack. Over here, we have a 4-to-1 attack. +2, because the Italians have some armor. I already flipped the headquarters for the +2. There's the mechanized corps there as well. And it'll be on the blitz table. The Italians kicking ass, taking names on the blitz table. Nope, not with a 3. God. 4-to-1 is a 3, was a 5, is a cross, 1R. So this guy is dead. He doesn't get a cadre. And 1R. Is that a break? It's not even a breakthrough. God. Wow. 1R. So half of these are going to be flipped over. That counts as one of the flipped over ones. So that's 1. There's 6 total. 2. He's going to occupy. We may actually take Egypt. The British are in deep poo-poo down here. Deep, deep poo-poo. Alright. Alright, that's it for the fascists. I don't think there's anything going on in China. Nope. But remember, it's rain in North Temperate, rain in the... oh, we do have 1 German attack. We'll be right back with that. Okay, for the Democrat impulse, they rolled weather and they rolled a 10. Which is storm in the Arctic, storm in North Temperate, rain in the Mediterranean, storm in North Monsoon, and storm and rain in South Monsoon, and clear in South Temperate, which is a real benefit for them over here in Russia, because there are a bunch of units that the Germans and their German allies have that are just plain out of supply. So you really can't move too much when you're out of supply. You flip over and that's it. And like these units here, they have no ways to trace. Here's a headquarters up here, but it doesn't do them any good. Over here, again, he's out of supply because there's no headquarters close to him. I don't think unless that is a headquarters. No, it's not. There's no headquarters around him. There's no headquarters here. The nearest headquarters is right here, which is Guderian. And 2 hexes to Guderian goes to here. So a lot of the German line is just plain out of supply. They were able to shift these units. They were able to shift these units over here. Like these guys are all in supply. He's out of supply now. So they have this that's in supply. This headquarters, Swedish headquarters up here, keeps this in supply. Really, really bad. There's a headquarters right here, and there's a headquarters up here. So all this is in supply, but the rest of it is kind of out. All this stuff in the Crimea, that's all out of supply, because the headquarters for the Romanians are up here. He's in supply, but he's not, and he's not. Some of the Russian units are out of supply too, but I don't think the Russians care at this point. So that was it for the Democrat impulse. Oh, the U.S. sent some ships to the Forest Gap in case the subs get frisky. That was it for that. And then we come back around to the fascist impulse. There is some action down in Africa. I think the British might be losing Egypt. We have a 5-to-1 attack here. We got Italians and Germans, which is a -1, but we have armor, which is a +1. So it's even. We have 5-to-1 on the Blitzkrieg table. Let's roll the die. Oh God, a 2. That's great. That's a 2 is a 1 loss for in a retreat, but all the attacking units are flipped over. So 1 loss for the British, the remainder retreat. We will get to occupy the Hex, but unfortunately, or fortunately for the Commonwealth, everything is flipped over. That is also not a cadre. Alright, and we got the sub action in Forest Gap. Let's see what happens. We flipped another sub. I'll roll some dice. The turn is starting to get old too, so why doesn't that focus? There we go. A 4 and a 5. That's a big giant 0. With Storm, I think it's a +2 to the search roll. +1 to search roll. And naval air units don't help. So nobody found anybody. That's the end of that. And let's see. That's the end of the fascist turn. The Japanese aren't doing anything. This is actually, we got to roll to see if the turn ends. It will end on a 1. A 6 doesn't do it. Move up to the communists, and I will be back shortly. Okay, my device is about to go dead on me, so I'm going to make this quick. The Germans produced 36, started with 16, spent 16. The Japanese produced 20, had 1 cadre, started with 12, spent 17. The Italians produced 12, with the 1 lent from Germany, started with 2, spent nothing. The Soviets produced 21, started with 12, spent 20. The Commonwealth produced 21, started with 7, spent 17. The US started with produced 24, started with 17, spent 18. China produced 3, got 1 from cadre, started with 4, started with 3 rather. Produced a total of 4, started with 3, spent 2, and the Free French are not going to spend anything. I will get these guys on the wheel, and hopefully I can get this turn uploaded in by a day or so. Hey, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and leave a comment if you want. Thank you very much.